Hi guys, today we're going to be working in the front flower bed and we have got a wide variety of things going in the ground today. We've got some shrubs, some evergreens, an ever red, and I'm kind of planting a little bit more for winter interest out here because the last thing I planted and the first thing I planted were the hydrangeas, but I wanted to get some good structure in there in the winter so when we get into that season, this flower bed doesn't kind of look just kind of like a graveyard, you know? So let me show you what we're going to plant today. I'll walk you through all of the stats for all of the shrubs and then we'll get to work. For starters, we've got this beautiful dwarf Alberta spruce, and I just love this little tree because it only gets 4 feet tall and 4 feet wide. It has a very slow growth rate. It's cold hardy down to -20 or 30 degrees, and it's just such a beautiful little accent piece that will provide a lot of winter interest and some structure right along like the porch over here, and I'm just so happy to finally get this in the ground. And then coming over here, we have a couple of the little lime hydrangeas that are from the clearance rack, and these are going to be going in the ground too. And I think I'm going to put them in between the limelight hydrangeas, kind of like to have like a step down, because the limelights get 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, and the little limes get 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. So it'll be nice to have that little step down. And these just are already starting to put on their fall color. And then we have this beautiful ever red shrub. And I have never planted this before, but I am so excited to get this in the ground. This is a jazz hands pink loropetalum, or a Chinese fringe flower. It is part of the witch hazel family, and in the spring it blooms these beautiful pink frilly blooms, but it keeps its foliage this evergreen red, burgundy, green color all season long, including winter. So I'm hoping, because this plant is hardy in zones 7 through 9, but more so 7B, and we are in zone 7A. So I'm not quite sure what this thing is going to do in the winter. It may drop a few leaves in the winter and then come back up again in spring, but we'll see. Either way though, I needed some more winter interest and I needed some red in here, and I just think this is just going to be beautiful. Look at this thing. Let me see if I can show you the tag. Here's the tag, and look at the color of those flowers. They're so frilly. They do look a little bit like a witch hazel bloom, but they are a beautiful, gorgeous pink, and they come in the spring, and I can't wait to see this. And then right down on the slope, we've got a Danica arborvitae, and this will bring us some yellow and green winter interest too. And this is the one that we had from the clearance rack that kind of has just been hanging out in its nursery can waiting for its time, and we are here. So this is the Danica arborvitae. That is what it looks like. And it gets, let's see if I can show you guys this, 18 to 20 feet, or 18 to 24 inches tall and wide. It's cold hardy down to -40, and it is just so pretty. Look at that color. And right next to the arborvitae, I've got a Miss Violet butterfly bush, or buddleia, and I wanted to put something in here with a little bit of height, and this gets 4 to 5 feet tall, about 3 to 4 feet wide, hit or miss, and it blooms a gorgeous deep violet purple, and I think this is just going to be a really nice pop of color here. This is not an evergreen, so it will lose its leaves in the wintertime, but if I keep the blooms on here, it'll just provide just another different piece of winter interest, shall we say. Let me get in here and see if I can show you these blooms. Look at that. And I did come out here earlier this morning because I needed to dig a hole down here by the downspout to determine where exactly this downspout runs underground, and it comes all the way down here. And I have put a little marker right here. So I've got two here. This one is for that downspout, and this one is for that downspout. So I know where I can use the auger and where I need to dig by hand, because I don't want to put the auger in there and then crack or bust a pipe. And we are going to be using the auger today to get these in the ground. I have also got some gypsum to help soften up some of this clay soil, and biotone starter fertilizer. All right guys, so we are going to get these in the ground, and then I will come back around and show you guys how everything looks. Here we go. All right guys, we got everything planted, everything is in the ground, it's watered in, it's mulched, and oh, I'm just so happy with how this looks. God, it's so nice to finally see color and plants in here. It's been so bare and just so empty for too long, and now we're slowly filling it up. Oh God, look at all this. Let's start with our dwarf Alberta spruce. It is just such a beautiful dwarf evergreen. It grows 4 feet tall by 4 feet wide. It's hardy down to -30, and it's a slow grower, so this will take a few years to reach its full height. It is probably right now about 2 feet tall, so it's got a few years before it kind of fills out and up, and I'm okay with that because everything else will grow into their own space as well. And you will notice I did mulch everything, but when I did go in and aug the holes, I added some gypsum and some biotone starter fertilizer, but I planted every single one of these trees and shrubs about 1 inch above the soil line because I like to facilitate water flowing away from the trunk of the plants, because I just don't want any water sitting there and potentially rotting these trees out and these shrubs. Right next to the spruce, we've got one of the two little limes that we planted. These grow 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. They're hardy in zones 3 through 8. They like neutral to acidic soil, and I am just so happy to finally get these in the ground. These two are two of the three that we had featured in the clearance rack video, rescuing plants from the clearance rack, and they are already starting to put on their fall color, if you can kind of see that. And they are a little floppy right now, and that's just because their stems were longer. I left them longer initially when we got them. I left them a little bit longer, and with the rain, they did kind of flop a little, but just a few in the front. Everything else is holding upright, and I think these are just going to be such a gorgeous addition. And then we have the Jazz Hands Pink Loropetalum, or Chinese fringe flower. And this is one that I have not planted in my landscape before, but I am just in love with this color. It has got a burgundy and green foliage to it, and the pink flowers that come out in the spring. I'm so excited to see what this will do. This gets 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. It's hardy in zones 7 through 9, and it likes neutral to acidic soil, and it likes well-draining soil. The one thing about this is it is more hardy in zones 7B through 9, and I'm in 7A. So it'll be interesting to see what this does in the winter. I think it may lose a little bit of its leaves, but it should spring back. And then right next to it, we have the Danica arborvitae, which adds a nice pop of yellow to this whole landscape. And I just think that is just such a cute, bright little shrub. This will get 18 to 24 inches tall and wide, and it will shape into like a globe or a sphere. It is hardy down to -20, -30, and it likes neutral soil. It can handle clay soil, it can handle acidic soil as long as it has good drainage. And then right next to that, we have the Miss Violet Buddleia, and this is looking a little stressed because she was in her nursery container for just a little too long. And you can see that there are some yellow leaves here, and I'm just going to leave her alone. I'm not going to trim her up because I think once she gets a little bit situated in her new home, I think she's going to calm down. So the Miss Violet gets 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. It's hardy in zones 5 through 9, and it likes neutral soil. It can handle clay soil. It just needs very good drainage because Buddleias are very prone to root rot. And I planted this probably like 1.5 inches above the soil line, and it's because it's on a slope as well. So water will be flowing towards it, and I just wanted to make extra sure that no water sat anywhere around the trunk. And I put a very, very, very tiny light layer of mulch around the root ball, but not right up to the trunk of the tree because I don't want any extra moisture down by the trunk. And over here in the other bed, I have a few of the hot and cold red hot pokers, or the Nephophias, that I was thinking of putting in the other bed because I think this orangey, creamy, yellowy, white bloom would look really good against the hydrangeas. But I'm a little undecided, so these guys are just going to hang out here a little bit longer. I also wanted to show you real quick, I did come in here with some topsoil and grass seed and just kind of regrade this whole area, and I'm hoping that it will eventually just regrow some grass and just kind of level out a little bit. I don't really take the lawnmower over this area, but I did just wanted to bring the soil line right up to where the rubber edging is, or the plastic edging. And I just wanted to show you guys that real quick because I'm hoping that the seed that I put underneath it germinates soon, and we start to see some grass coming in here. And I even filled in right over here because you know how like the water likes to flow from the bed through the lawn and into this other bed and the retaining wall. So I'm hoping once this fills in, it will kind of stop some of that flow. I did the same thing in the backyard, added some topsoil and some grass seed, put a little bit more mulch over there by the fence line, and I even went in and added rocks down towards the edge of the swale to kind of help with soil erosion. And this is where I ended, and I just have a little area left to add in some more grass seed and topsoil. All right guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.